quickly make sure the sound is playing the right one. Hello, hello. Okay, I think my mic is on. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the finale. We are here at Singapore, and this is going to be the most competitive race that we will be seeing this season because everyone here is fast. And believe it or not, Train is back from his hiatus for this race, and he does have the record on this track. So hopefully we'll see some good racing from him. Let me just quickly double check. The stream is going. Let me turn up my mic. Properties. Don't know why the mic is so soft. Let me try and get it a bit closer to myself, and hopefully it should be a bit better. I'm gonna go like that. I'm also going to turn up the mic a little bit more. If that's a little too loud, guys, let me know in the chat. We should be good. It's... Okay, yeah, but... Oh, people are flying through the pits. But what we are waiting for right now is we're waiting for qualifying to start, so the drivers can get into their qualifying positions. And then after that, the race will commence. I think it'll be a 36 lap race, I believe, or something like that. And then we'll see who'll be the winner. So currently, the points to the World Driver Championship right now is Ada with 80 points and Wilt at 75. Ada does drive the Williams car. Let's see if we can find him real quick. There's Ada. There's his teammate. And then Wilt is obviously in the Ferrari. And so they'll be duking it out this race and seeing who can go ahead and get the win. But it is a really hard race because it's really easy to DNF here. So let's quickly do a course walk. So over there's a star. We go through 3 turns here. And then to here, we get into a nice long turn. Currently we have the bumper walls on, so you can't actually get hurt during the qualifying. But during the race, it is really easy. Right here, as you can see, there's another wall, and so a lot of crashes happen here because people are obviously a little cramped up here, especially at the start of the race. This is a nice and tight corner, and what really sucks is that wall right there does hurt your car. So you have to be really careful to go ahead and dodge that wall. Then you go around here through the chicane, which is very easy to flip on, but I believe the curbs here have been, as you can see, relatively flattened, so hopefully cars shouldn't be flipping. And as you can see, the Ferraris and their nice, beautiful, beautiful livery. As you can see, he's currently testing the curbs, and as you can see, you can drive over them pretty easily. But you do want to be careful here because if you spin out, you're going to go right into the barrier. And so, honestly, we'll be expecting some DNFs and a red flag possibly. And then through the bridge into a very sharp left turn. Once again, damage walls everywhere. Go through easy. Another big braking wall. So you have to be really careful on these turns here because if you fly off the track, not only are you going to spin out, but you're also going to crash. And then we come down here. There's a few final corners. There is grass here. Oh no, I guess that's just paint. That's just paint. But they do have to be careful on that still. And then they go through the grid and into the finish. As you can see, Kick Sauber right now is duplicating their cars. I don't know how they're doing that, but I guess everyone's going to be driving that. Actually, I think it's because all their drivers have pulled up. Yeah, I think this is all the F2 and the F3 drivers here with the reserves as well. Let's quickly check the chat. But yeah, this race will be a pretty fun one. Let me quickly take a look at my notes. So the people that are attending are obviously Ada and Welt. They're the two current contenders for the world title. With a 5 point gap between the two, so that's gonna be pretty fun and interesting to keep an eye on. And then obviously, since Walt is gonna be trying to get the title, Octavian will be helping him out. Then we also have Dev, who is racing for, I believe, Kek Salisbury, yeah, as you can see here, or Kek Steak Bar. Apologies. So that's gonna be fun because he is fast here. And then obviously Train is back from his hiatus, which means if he has been practicing, he might be able to put in some good lap times. As you can also see, the Cadillacs have a nice, beautiful blue livery, special livery for this race. And cars are just flying everywhere. Currently, I believe we're trying to figure out some scripts to get the race going. Neon has joined. Fun, fun, fun. But as you can see, all cars but Web Blues are working, which is kind of strange. So currently the car scripts are broken, so they're not really working. So they're currently trying to figure that out. Much of anyway, so honestly during the race, it's gonna be 2 laps, no collisions, and then collisions after. So people are gonna have to be pretty careful with how they race. And qualifying is underway. So we have 12 minutes of qualifying. Let's go ahead and see what people can do. Cars are out. Let's quickly go get a bird's eye view. So I can see this is a very, very big track. Cars are up there right now. So let's go ahead and check out what the pack is up to. We got 2 state cars going through, and ooh, that's a bad flip. Thankfully, it is just qualifying and no collisions. There are no collisions, and the walls are not hurting anyone. Here, I believe, is Octavian. Driving through, and I'm honestly going to have to maybe change my fly speed here real quick. Like that? I think so. Just so I can keep up with the cars, but not go way too fast. I believe down there is Ada in the Williams car. Going through a few final turns. Let's quickly see what times people are putting in. So I see these times are really slow right now because everyone has just been messing around in the pits. So after this lap, we should see some real times. But as you can see, people are spinning and crashing out on the first turn there, so they really have to be careful. Also, apologies for the lights flickering. I have to be pretty close to the traffic lights, or I guess to the course. We got Ferrari, so that's Wilt right there, and I believe that's Ada right behind him, and the Cadillac. As you can see, though, they have pretty similar lines here, which is pretty dang impressive. As you can see, though, yeah, having flattened curbs at the chicane makes it really nice to just be able to go ahead and slide on through them. Ada has fallen off a little bit, and the Ferrari is making room. Fortunately, he makes a mistake, and the Cadillac and the Toyota, I believe, are able to go ahead and move on through. Actually, that might be the Renault. I don't know, their liveries kind of look a little bit similar. There's a car on the inside of the field. Kind of strange. But let's go ahead and take a look at what the times are now. So you can see we got 114, 115, 116, 116. So people are fairly close. Lewis with the fastest right now. Sky is Blue, second. Captain Avenger in third. Octavian in fourth. And the Dev in fifth. Currently, obviously, they still have 9 more minutes, which is going to be about 8-ish laps for them. So let's go ahead and see what we get. Ooh, that guy unfortunately hit the wall a little too hard there with his slide. And spun out. So you really do have to be careful with these cars here. Because if you spin, it's really, really dang easy to crash. Wow, that guy, Cadillac, almost flipped. But he made it work. And also, all things considered, he's doing pretty good. Ferrari is also doing good. And Ada has been able to catch right back up. So I see these two here are our contender fighters. Ada and Wilt. The Ferrari and the Williams. The Ferrari makes a mistake and gets spun out. And Ada continues on with a chase. Just almost a little bit faster than the Cadillac. Let's see the times. Octavian sets a 113.1. Ada with a 113.3. And Lewis falls down to fourth with a 113.9. Let's go ahead and see how everybody else is doing. Here's the McLaren Bugatti with Neon. Texting and driving. Pretty impressive, all things considered. Nobody else is back here. Oh. Actually, this might be Ada here. Yep, that is Ada. There's the Cadillac and the Ferrari. Let's go ahead and see if there are any other packs. So 2 state cars are there. As you can see, the drivers have pretty tight lines around here. And it's really helpful considering that I believe there are no hidden bumps there. That guy's still driving around on the inside. But yeah, there are no hidden bumps. So you can go ahead. Oh, that's a pretty bad flip. Let's take a look at those curbs here real quick. Because I guess you can still flip on them. So this one here, it's relatively flat. Almost just a 0.1 of a stud. Higher than the road. And then this one is also pretty flat. So I guess even if you mess up a little bit there, you're going to go flying. So you really have to be careful around here. Even though the curves have been flattened. Which honestly is probably for the better in this league. Considering that we are driving tank chassis cars. And those are pretty hard to drive on Roblox as it is. And curbs don't make it any easier. Anyways, here we are with oh, I can't see his username, just barely. But here we are with the BMW driver. Oh, I believe that's going to be Milk. I can tell by the avatar. Yep, that's Milk. In the BMW. He's going a little bit wide there. He's able to make it work. Passing the state car. We are 5 minutes in. And, ooh, that's a flip, unfortunately. So unfortunately, even though the curbs have been flattened, it's still pretty easy to go ahead and flip. And let's go ahead and check the times again real quick. So we got, oh, the times have been reset. But Ada is currently with 116. 116 Octavian. And the times are getting fixed slowly but surely. Slowly but surely. Here is Sun, I believe, the league owner. Let's go ahead and follow him. So he only runs in the qualifying. He actually doesn't race since he does own a team. As he's doing pretty good. And see, yeah, you really want to be very precise with your line through the chicane there. Actually, my bad. I guess that was not Sun. Let me quickly go and find him. Actually, hold on. Let's go take a look at what his avatar is. Okay, it's still that little gremlin. Oh, I can't find him. Dang it. Okay. There's way too many state cars out on the road right now. Oh, there he is. Their son. So let's go ahead and follow him. It's pretty hard to follow him, so... Let's see. Milk is struggling in that chicane there. Even though it's been flattened, he still finds a way to spin out, which... Very, very unfortunate. As you can see, yeah, you really want to be careful with this wall here because mid-race, if you go way too far, you could clip that wall, and that could mean your car can get broken. We currently have 3:55 remaining on the qualifying timer. Let's go ahead and follow the Red Bulls here with their beautiful livery this year. Let's go ahead and keep following this car. Faster than the Cadillac. Cadillac is struggling on the straightaways. What is going on here? Hopefully this time around Cadillac can score some points. That would be pretty cool as they are currently 8th in the Constructors Championship right now with 18 points. Oh, that's an unfortunate wall there. As you can see, you do really want to be careful here because the walls, obviously, they're not super round. So if you still hit a corner, you can still bump off of them pretty weirdly. There's a Williams car struggling this Turner here. Turner, I mean corner, apologies. 250 left on the qualifying. 112 by Octavian. 112.9 by Adam. And a 112.8 by Wilt. So this is going to be a really fast, really competitive race. Neon just at a 112.98. Let's go ahead and try to actually find some of our current race leaders. There's Neon. Where is Wilt or Adam? Stay car, stay car. Oh, was that him? Nope, that is his teammate, I believe, right there. Flying in reverse, trying to find anybody. There he is. Wilt is still on his back. Even though we are almost 12 minutes qualifying. And, ooh, unfortunately, Wilt spins out there. And the state car struggles on the corner. So there are still some invisible bumps on some of these corners. Yeah, hopefully nothing too bad. Because these lines are really close. So if you get, like, if you even touch the invisible little bumps on a corner, you could get sent flying. But right now the drivers are doing pretty good, although some are struggling on the chicane here. As you see, oh, yep, Ada flips. And Wilt slams into the wall. So here, even though the curbs are flattened, you still have to be careful to make sure not to fly into that wall because really anything can happen there. Here they go, Wilt and Ada fighting for time during qualifying. Oh, and unfortunately, Wilt eats the wall and spins out. How unfortunate. That is going to slow down his time by a lot, obviously. Coming into the final turns here. And Ada crosses the line at 119. Let's go ahead and see how Wilt is doing. Sorry, we got 20 seconds left on qualifying. So final lap for all these drivers, and then it will be time to go ahead and find the grid order. Because the clock here does reset and people are easing off now. Since it is the end of qualifying. Very nice there. Oh, wait, this is kind of a W camera angle. Ooh, just barely touches the bumper wall. Slams into that wall though. Oh, and that corner here. Wilt does seem to be struggling quite a lot. He turns in a little bit too early. Slams into this wall. Because, I mean, technically, you could go ahead and make that right there, but you have to be very careful. Here are the final drivers coming through into the final corners here. And boom, that'll be hopefully the end of qualifying. So the times are right now are a little bit off. We'll be checking the Discord to see what the times actually are. Quickly pulling it up to see if anyone has posted times. So we will have to wait a little bit. Wow, 112.7. Black Octavian. Ada with a 118.8, but I see these times are a little bit off. So let me go ahead and check Discord. Okay. Here we are. So we got Octavian with a 112.6 in first. Ada in second, 112.7. Wilt in third with a 112.8. Neon with a 112.9. Devin fifth, 113. Lewis in sixth, 113.1. Indo, 113.5. So this is going to be a pretty dang close race. The Cadillacs are 6th and 7th. And then I see Ada up in second. And the Ferrari's taking 1 and 3. So it's going to be a little bit interesting to see what Ferrari can do. So here are the people lining up. So we can go ahead and visualize. Here we are, Octavian in the beautiful Ferrari. Absolutely beautiful livery. We got Williams with Ada. So Ada is going to be fighting with the Ferraris for this race, which is going to be pretty interesting to see. Because Ada is just 5 more points than Wilt. And so it's really going to come down to who can place higher than the other during this race. Here's Wilt with his Why So Serious shirt. I guess Cadillac and McLaren will be sharing a grid position tonight. Dev in the state car, which looks honestly pretty fire. We got the 2 Cadillacs, as you can see, with the beautiful blue livery today. Very, very nice. We got 6th, 7th position. Very nice. Cadillac's taking 6th and 7th. We got Reynolds over here. Pretty nice. I believe Webb is supposed to be up there. Kind of strange. And then Red Bull and Milk and the BMW in the back. Which is honestly kind of strange for him. You usually don't see him back there that much, but unfortunately for this race, he is. And here's the current grid position, and we also got some fans in the stands. You can see, I believe that is the F2 Ferrari driver right there, and I believe this might be Stakes F2 driver. So this is going to be a 24-lap race. And race is going to be starting now any second. Hello, everybody. Hello. And here is the full grid, ladies and gentlemen. The Red Bulls are back-to-back. Cadillac is back-to-back. So we'll have to see who can go ahead and score the best points, I guess, team-wise. But it is going to be a pretty tough race. People are racing hard. People are racing fast. So it's going to get pretty interesting pretty quickly. Uh, First pit window is open from lap 4 to lap 8. Obviously, all drivers need to make at least one pit stop during the race. And by that, if you don't know, they just have to go ahead and drive through the pits, and they can go ahead and race. They don't actually have to stop at their pits. It's just a drive through. Since in this game you can't really add fuel or change tires, you know. So it's more just a thing of routine, I guess. Oh, okay, never mind. I guess the Red Bulls are not back to back here. Interesting. So right now everyone is currently going ahead and getting into their positions. Some people are in the VC, so obviously it's a bit easier to communicate with them when they are in the VC. But unfortunately, not every racer is in the VC, which kind of makes sense, obviously. So they are having to type them through chat, but as you can see, they're typing pretty dang fast. Apologies. I can't get that off my screen. No, 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 no. And I guess the race begins, and we have the alert on screen. Oh no, this is bad. Okay, no. I'm getting sabotaged by the alert. Apologies, everyone. I'm gonna have to... Oh, dang it. I'm trying to click it. Okay. Anyways, here the race. It's a little bit laggy. So many drivers. I'm gonna turn off my volume here. Oh, and it is getting pretty laggy here with everybody racing. All these cars so close together. Ferrari making an absolute jump up in front. Everybody's here. I'm gonna go a little bit down the track. I'm gonna try and figure out how we can get this off the menu. There you go. Okay. Apologies, everyone. The alert popped up mid-screen. I couldn't really do much. Anyways, back to the race. Oh my gosh, it is laggy here. Let's go ahead and find the front of the race. So here's the front of the race. Ferrari, that's going to be Octavian leading the pack. Ada following in second. Third and fourth currently being shared between a Stake and a Cadillac right now. McLaren following close behind. Then we got Ferrari right in the back. And the Cadillac also making a move on Ferrari. As you can see, we got a big pack. Oh, the Cadillac runs right into the wall. We got a pretty nice pack right here. Everyone's just following Ada's line. They have to be careful through the chicane here. And obviously, Octavian is up in the front. Not worrying about a thing because he is so far in front. Let's go ahead and get the board down. Unfortunately, in Singapore, this timing board is a little bit broken. So we will be having to check this leaderboard every now and then. As you see, currently, fastest sector is by Ashed with a 26.9. Which is pretty good. And the pack is slowly starting to thin out. Some pieces are on the track now. Wilt is lagging a little bit, but that is fine. Collisions are now on. So drivers are having to be careful, especially if they are in each other during the non-collisions, as that can mess them up. Octavian is slowly losing that gap as Ada slowly closes in on him. Unfortunately, we only see third and below. Wilt is lagging this race, but that could be just on my end. I don't really know. Unfortunately, the Cadillac is now a little bit further down the line. Let me get closer so we can see the cars. Ferrari trying to be careful. And someone in the chat did just say that if Wilt lags too much and kills someone by crashing into them, he could get a penalty, and that is true, and that would really hurt his race, since he really cannot crash right now. He needs any position that he can get just to catch up to Wilt, but unfortunately, there's a large gap that has formed now. Ada in second, chasing down Octavian. Let's see who's behind. There is Wilt, but as you see, the gap is pretty bad now. And, oh, say car crashed. As you can see, Octavian is just trying to find a way to get Ada off his back. And Wilt is just trying to find any way he can to catch up to Ada. Ada is making some simple little mistakes. And Wilt is trying to maximize his line. Surprisingly, though, in fifth, we have Lewis Hamilton for the Cadillac, who is doing, honestly, fairly good. Cadillac has had a rough season, unfortunately, but hopefully this race will turn it around as a finale. Unfortunately, though, Ada is just boxed in. He can't really do much. In front, he's got a Ferrari, and back, he's got a Ferrari, and it's the back Ferrari that he has to worry most about because he needs those points. As you can see, some people have started kissing that wall, so they do have to be careful driving through that because debris can kind of sometimes affect how you drive, but usually it doesn't. As you can see, Ada has closed up the gap on Octavian, just 0.4 seconds away, and Wilt is 1.9 seconds away. Pretty tight race. Anything here counts. Let's go ahead and see how everybody's doing. So we got 113.0 from Wilt. So currently Wilt is the fastest, faster than Ada by 0.8 seconds on the last lap, which means he is slowly closing down the gap. Now remember, it is pretty easy to go ahead and DNF on this race, so these people have to be driving really careful here. As you see, the top pack is doing pretty good. Let's go ahead and jump from them to the backpack and see what is happening here. There was Neon in the Lamborghini Bugatti. As you see, the grid has thinned out now a lot, and that's just because every driver has their own struggles, and this guy's just parked up on the curb, and he affected the BMW. That's going to be penalty points right there, I believe. That's unfortunate. But you see, yeah, the grid has really, really thinned out, and that's just because every driver has weaknesses and strengths on the track. And we are back with a front group, and Wilt, where is he? Ladies and gentlemen, he's in 6th. Now, obviously, this is just the start of the race here, but Wilt is doing very bad in 7th right now. A is still in 2nd. Obviously, a gap has increased a little bit, but let's go ahead and find Wilt and just see what's happening, because this is very bad for him, as he is trying to go ahead and chase down Ada. Where is Wilt, ladies and gentlemen? There he is. Oh, unfortunately, big damage. No more rear wing. Obviously, rear wings in this game don't really affect the cars too much, but it is going to make his car feel a little bit weirder to drive, but still, it will be pretty close to that same feeling. But unfortunately, because of his crash, he is now in 7th, 20 seconds behind first, which might as well be 20 seconds behind Ada. Let's go ahead and find them real quick. So here is Ada and Octavian kicking up car parts as they go through the race. Both of them self-full cars, and Ada is going to go for a pit. And honestly, this might be the smartest move he makes all race because of the gap that he has to Wilt, which means he has nothing to worry about as he goes through here. Honestly, this might be the move here, ladies and gentlemen. He pits for his race. I see now the gap to Octavian is huge, but Ada does not need to win this race, as all he needs to do is just hold on to that second and not let Wilt pass him. So hopefully Ada has made the move that will go ahead and solidify him in place. Wilt is now 23 seconds behind, and Ada is 8 seconds behind Octavian. So that is going to be a little bit dangerous. Apparently everyone has pitted, except for Neon. So let's go ahead and move up the track and see just who he has to pass. He has to go ahead past Neon. in the McLaren Bugatti. And where is Octavian? I'm struggling to find him. I think that might be him right there. And yes, ladies and gentlemen, that is Octavian right here. And he's coming to pits. And as you can see, all you have to do is drive through the pits just for it to count. And we are currently on lap 7 here. And see the fans are cheering on their favorite drivers. And here he goes, Octavian. But now Ada has closed the gap just because of that. Oh, and as you can see, Octavian has front wing damage, which is unfortunate. And now they're behind I guess not a back marker, but they are behind Neon. So Octavian and Ada are gonna have to be careful, because if Neon makes a mistake and crashes on track, they're gonna have to go around him, or that's gonna be a huge crash for them. But these are usually the top 3 drivers of the league, so it should be fun. I guess, as you can see, there are no invisible bumps there, since Neon was able to just drive through it. Here we are through the chicanes, no damages, but a lot of debris on the track from previous racers. Man, what a close race. Wilt has now officially moved up into 5th and is only 15.9 seconds behind race leader. And here he is chasing down the state car, which I believe is Dev here. One of the, I believe, not the record holder, but he is pretty dang fast on this course, and he's a pretty fast driver overall. So Wilt is gonna have to go ahead and start locking in if he wants to go ahead and keep moving up the grid. But as you can see, a lot of debris on the track, which will make it a little bit harder for the racers to race, and also no rear wing. Neon has pitted, and it has now exited behind Wilt. Man, Wilt in 5th, now 11.1 seconds behind the race leader, and Ada is now 0.5 seconds away. So let's go ahead and find them if we can. I'm just trying to see. I believe, who would that be right there? That would be our race leaders. Crossing the Singaporean bridge. Making sure to be careful on that turn, because if you crash, you could lose some parts of the car. The most important part of the car is honestly the floor. You could lose all the pieces on your car, but as soon as you lose the floor, that's when your car gets disabled, since if you lose the floor, you lose your seat and your wheels. So you really, really want to be careful there. Oh, and unfortunately, Octavian crashes into the wall. That's going to slow him down quite a bit, and Ada's going to be able to move up just a little bit. And now he is a straight half a second right behind Octavian, which is honestly pretty surprising. Let's go ahead and take a look at the line and see who's coming. We have Stake and Wilt. Wilt is slowly making time. Slowly but surely, but will he have enough laps to go ahead and catch Octavian and Ada? Who knows? Let's go ahead and quickly check who are the fastest racers. So Wilt currently is running with the fastest laps, faster than Ada, with 13.2 as his last lap. And Ada, oh my gosh, 2 crashes right there. Wilt moves up. He's now in 3rd. But I see Solo behind. But Wilt is the fastest on the course right now. All he has to do is keep working it, keep hoping that the front drivers keep making mistakes. Let's go ahead and actually catch the front pack wherever they are. Here they are. I see the front pack here with Octavian and Ada are doing pretty good, keeping it steady. A lot of debris on track here through these corners, which is honestly surprising. Coming through this big turn here, which you have to be really careful on to not accidentally turn into the pits. But obviously, ladies and gentlemen, now 3rd is Wilt. So he crashed into 7th and has now worked his way back up into 3rd. Obviously, he's going to be almost 4 turns behind 2nd place with 8 seconds. And obviously, this course is only a minute long in these cars. So he's going to have to really make sure that he is racing the best that he can, because any mistake could cost him the championship here. The second pit window has opened, and it is now a lap 11 and lap 17, so we might see some people who haven't pitted yet pit. I'm going to keep following Ada. Here's the chicane. Drives through it very nicely. I'm under the track. Let's go ahead and see how far he is away from the next racers. Second and first. As you can see, he's really not that far, but he is gonna have to start seeing if he can get into the 112s here, because Ada and Octavian are not slowing down. Obviously, both of them want the race win, and Octavian, Ada goes for the second pit, which is fair. So I believe they actually have to pit every pit window. But him pitting now, let's Wilt go ahead and pass him. Now, obviously this is gonna be bad for Ada, but Octavian, Wilt, and the Dev still have to pit. So this is gonna be hard. Indo pitted. Let's go ahead and find the race leader. Oh no, that's gonna be way all the way up here. Here's Octavian, so we'll go ahead and watch him as he finishes this lap. Goes through, doesn't tap the wall there. As you really have to be very careful on this track, because if you hold on to a turn for a little too long, you could end up in the wall, or you could end up spinning out. And he goes in for the pit. Now, obviously, he has time, 7 seconds. But here is Wilt, and Wilt decides not to pit this lap and actually go ahead and try making a pass on his teammate, which honestly is surprising. So he's going to go ahead and take the lead officially, which is honestly huge props to him. But unfortunately, he is going to have to pit pretty dang soon, so he will have to make this lap be one of his fastest. Ada is 8.2 seconds away from Wilt. Obviously, Wilt stops to pit. Ada stops to pass the Dev and Octavian. But I mean, we'll have to see if Ada can hold. I mean, if Wilt can hold on to this lead here. Neon apparently just DNF'd. Let's go ahead and check out what's going on with Neon. Apparently, Neon has just crashed into Webblue, giving him terminal damage, which means Webblue may not be able to finish this race, which is very unfortunate. So Neon has been disqualified for crashing into Webblue. Webblue is now apparently has been lapped 4 times, which is honestly pretty surprising. And there goes Wilt for his pit. Unfortunately, that was a crazy pin. He did go a little bit wide there. The Dev follows in, and there is Octavian and Wilt, first and second now. So Ada gets back to second, but Wilt is going to be pretty close to Ada. This is going to be a really close race here. The race director's message has been tagged. So let's go ahead and quickly check. And, ooh, okay, Wilt making some little mistakes, crashing into the walls, which is really unfortunate. Oh, I'm about to sneeze. Apologies, everyone. So apparently we are 2 out of 3 reds at the current moment. I'm listening to the race director right now, which means a red flag could come up anytime, and that means they're gonna have to do a race restart, and then from there it's really gonna be who can get out in front fastest. But as you can see, Wilt is not that far behind, and he's actually pretty dang close to these racers right here. But both of them, I believe, have pitted already. So we will have to see what happens here. Wilt 0.7 seconds behind Octavian. He just can't get Octavian. Octavian isn't particularly setting down any fast laps, and actually no, I take that back. 0.2 seconds faster than Ada. So Ada really has to try and get a little bit closer. Wilt is 5.8 seconds away. Currently everybody thinks that Octavian is trying to slow down Octavian is trying to slow down Ada, which could very much be so, because after all, Octavian is not currently in the battle for the driver championship. and it's gonna be Wilt. And ladies and gentlemen, that is a third race flag, red flag, which means they have to finish up this lap, and it's gonna be a race restart. Ooh, that's gonna be kind of very unfortunate for Ada, because that means Wilt is gonna be a lot closer. So Wilt now has the chance, if he can, with this race restart, to go ahead and get a lot closer to Ada. And if he passes him on these next few laps, oh, what an unfortunate crash. But it really does not matter, since the current order on the bottom left of the screen that you can see with the race timings, that is going to be the restart order. So they are going to go ahead and line everyone back up again, which is interesting. Yeah, so that's 3 red flags. So now obviously, Octavian can go ahead and win his race, but Wilt and Ada, they're gonna be on edge the whole entire time, because unfortunately, it is gonna be a close race. They are doing a race restart since 3 reds, but I believe after this restart, no red flags. It's just all race, all out. Apparently, Webley is going to be restarting from the pit exit, which is nice. That gives him an opportunity to go ahead and catch back up to the grid and try and get any positions. That also means he gets unlapped, so he could move up some positions. People are repairing their cars, as you can see. Octavian back in the complete car. As we saw, he did have front wing damage. Ada was racing clean, no damage from him. And obviously, Wilt missed his rear wing, but he has it back now. And we are getting a race restart. The Cadillacs are still pretty close to each other, which is pretty dang impressive. But ladies and gentlemen, this race start will make or break the championship here, because depending on who can get the better start here will solidify who wins here. Honestly, they still have to keep their form, keep on racing strong, because any crash will completely ruin their car. Let's go ahead and take a look at the order. So we got Octavian, Ada, Wilt, the Dev, Indo, Lewis, 39, Lore, Seba, Milk, and Webb. Obviously, Webb was crashed by Neons, which is why we not... Okay, again, so, here are the fans enjoying the race live. And the race will begin any second now. Let's go ahead and watch the start. I don't know why we're not starting. Let's give them a sec. Okay. This alert system, man. I miss when they use the countdown. Alright, here are the lights. Lights out, and away we go. Ada gets a nice little quick start on Octavian. Octavian nicely low in front. Keeps his position. Wilt moves up into second. A lot of slop. Oh, the Cadillacs go a little too wide there. Here are the top 4, though. Fighting for any position. The Cadillacs swapping positions back and forth. But as you can see, Ada is currently boxed in by both of the Ferraris. Kick in the back. It's going to be a really close race for them. 2 laps. Oh, unfortunately, Octavian goes ahead, bites the wall, and spins out. Ada is going to be in first. Wilt in second. They're side by side, tire to tire. That was a really unfortunate race there for Wilt. Oh, my God, for Octavian, I mean. Wilt goes ahead and uses the chicanes perfectly. Does them carefully. Unfortunately, goes wide there. Ada is able to take back his position side by side here. Obviously, there is going to be some B-lag. But unfortunately, fortunately, Wilt is not lagging anymore, which is good for him. Never mind. He's lagging a bit. I see that makes sense. There's a lot of cars racing, and this map is pretty intensive with all the lights. Oh, no. That's going to be really bad for Wilt. He crashes He is now behind with his teammate Octavian. Stake Card is doing pretty good in second. Both Cadillacs doing great. Ada doing phenomenal in first. This might be Ada's race, and this might be his championship. Obviously, we don't know. We'll have to see towards the end of this race. There's only, well, I can't really count right now. 6? No, like a few more laps left in this race. So it all comes down to this. Collisions are still off, I believe, or collisions might be on now. We'll see. Cadillacs are doing great. Going a little bit wide on some of these turns, though. But they're keeping up with the top half, which is good, because then maybe they can learn something from the top drivers and see what the best line is through some of these turns here. The Ferraris, though, right behind the Cadillacs, trying to find a place where they can move up. Unfortunately, Ada loses second to a Cadillac right there. Side by side. Any position that Ada drops now just closes the gap for Welt. Oh, unfortunately, the Cadillac crashed into the wall and flipped up on its back. What a crazy crash, unfortunately, for Indo. Ada is back in first. Just barely squeezed past Kick. Or I believe that was Lewis. It was Lewis or Indo for the Cadillac that flipped. Octavian, 0.8 seconds away. And Wilt in fifth. Oh my gosh, what a bad crash right there. Or bad curb. So Ada, I mean, is doing phenomenal. He's making the gap bigger and bigger for second and third. Second pit window has closed now. So it's going to be it's all now down to the finish line. Few more laps remaining. Whoa, Octavian trying to get Sendy there, but unfortunately sends it into the wall and into the runoff, which is unfortunate. What a bad crash for him. Wilt is now left all in third for himself to go ahead and try and chase down Ada here. But he is getting slower. I mean, he is getting quicker and quicker. But Ada is just holding on to this first place, keeping that gap nice and good between him and the state car. The dev obviously trying to find any optimization in his line that he can. And Wilt obviously is going to keep chasing him down. Apparently, Loose, Octavian, and Indo were just killed by someone, which is interesting. We'll have to see in the FIA investigations to see whose fault it was. But we are, ladies and gentlemen, down on the 5 final laps. Ada, as you can see, leading this race. He's doing good. He's flying on these few final laps. The dev, and let's go ahead and start follow Octavian. Octavian has front wing damage. Again, not really that bad for him. All he has to do is drive. Cadillac right behind him. He is lagging. And the state car crashed, letting Cadillac pass and Wilt. So now it is Ada in first and Wilt in second. Ada's nightmare. Because any mistake that Ada makes now just makes it closer, easier and easier for Wilt to catch him. Indo is in P3 for Cadillac, which is really, really impressive for him, considering that Indo hasn't raced for quite a while. And that Singapore is honestly quite a hard track here. They have to be careful of that wall there. Kind of diabolical placement there. Wilt in second. McLaren in P3 and Red Bull in P4 confirmed. I believe that might be for the Constructors Championship. Ada is still doing good, but Wilt, unfortunately, is faster on this track. Let's go ahead and see. Ooh, okay, so Lewis has actually set the fastest overall time. And the Wilt is currently faster than Ada. So, Ada's going to have to step up his game on these final 4 laps here. There is debris on the track. People are spitting out and crashing. Now, I think from this point on, we are just going to keep following Ada and Wilt since they are the championship contenders here. Apparently, Obama has officially won the Destructor Championship. I guess he had crashed into someone. So, good for him, I guess. Blitzkrieg, Octavian in the chat actually is already saying that Ada WDC, which is World Driver Championship, GG. Honestly, who knows, though, because Wilt has honestly, ladies and gentlemen, just a few laps, he was in P5, and now he's in P2, just working up the strike, chasing down Ada. Ada has a lot of pressure on him right now, because any mistake that he makes, it's going to be it. It's going to be it. Wilt is going to catch him. As you can see, though, Wilt driving pretty good. He is a little bit sloppy on some of these first few corners. Wilt is right on Ada's bumper. Yes, indeed. Lap 21 here. 3 laps to go. Ada is trying to hold off Wilt. Honestly, any crash here from either of these drivers will solidify their place in the driver championship. Because honestly, 3 laps is just not enough time to recover from a crash. As you can see, Wilt is super, super close right there. And see, Wilt is just getting closer and closer. He can see Ada, but he just can't get to him. Ada is leading, which is really impressive. Lap 22 here now. Wilt is really going to have to make these final few laps count because he is at 75 points and Ada is at 80. 5-point difference, and this P1 and P2 will make it. Webb does have an alert, and that's because, as you can see, if we fly all the way down here, Webb is pretty dang slow on the track. And unfortunately, Webb spins out and lets both Ada and Wilt pass and a few other people there. But that's just what happens. Sometimes you have to get out of the way and let the actual race go on. As you can see, they're getting really, really close here. Indo is doing pretty good in third, solidifying maybe a potential of third place for Cadillac, which would be, I believe, the highest placement that they will get this whole entire season, which would be pretty insane. Devin fourth with the state car, and Octavian in fifth. So he is recovering, but unfortunately, there might not be enough time left to actually make a good recovery here. Wilt is absolutely sending it on these few last corners here. Lap 23. It all comes down to this, ladies and gentlemen. Wilt makes a mistake and goes a little bit wide there, making the gap just a little bit bigger. And honestly, ladies and gentlemen, that might be the mistake that costs Wilt the championship right there. That Wilt's going wide there might be the mistake that will cost him the championship. As you can see, the gap is pretty large now. But Wilt is a faster driver on this course here, so that might just be what he needs. Apparently, Indo has just flipped, which is really unfortunate. Seba has just gone into the wall. I'm reading it off the chat. Oh, and as you can see, Wilt is frozen. Okay, that's just lag. Ladies and gentlemen, here they go. Coming close to the finish now. Webblue is in the wall, blocking the racers. 3 people crashed, ladies and gentlemen. That would be a red flag, and that would be a race restart. But we are on the final laps, ladies and gentlemen. And it all comes down to this. Lap 23. Coming on to lap 24, guys. Last race. Wilt has caught up to Wilt has caught up to Ada. Ladies and gentlemen, the final lap. Can Wilt catch and pass Ada in this final race? Ada is going to be holding on to that position, trying his best to go ahead and win this race, which will secure his second World Driver Championship. As you see, the gap is barely 4 cars big. Oh my gosh. Season 6, ladies and gentlemen. 12 races that all have led up to this. And here we are on the final lap. Ada and Wilt fighting. Wilt just on the bumper. He can barely almost touch Ada's car. As you can see. Oh, unfortunately, Wilt goes wide there. Ada goes. Wilt follows. He's trying to go find and optimize his line. As you can see, Wilt just can't get close enough. Oh my gosh, ladies and gentlemen. Ada crashes in the last few corners. And Wilt will be the World Driver Champion of Season 6, ladies and gentlemen. What a bottle by Ada. Ladies and gentlemen, Wilt wins race 12, Season 6. No way. Oh wait, no, apparently I got that wrong, ladies and gentlemen. Ada will still be winning the championship just due to the point difference. But will. Wow. So, ladies and gentlemen, Ada still wins. Ada wins the championship. What a close race there. What a crazy race. It was all down to the last few corners, and Ada unfortunately crashed. He did get boosted. Oh, wow. What an incredible race, ladies and gentlemen. Wow, wow. Bottle o Ada, yeah, that's true. I mean, let's go back to that corner there. How do you, what, it was right here, right? He went. As you can see, it just barely turns in, so you crash there. You don't keep going if you crash here. You just get spun, which is crazy, but luckily Ada still wins the championship. And Wilt wins the race. But what does that cost him, ladies and gentlemen? That costs him a driver championship. Apparently, supposedly he loses by 2 points, which is crazy. The gap is 2 points between Ada and Wilt. So Ada wins with a 2-point gap to Wilt, ladies and gentlemen, this season. What a wonderful season, ladies and gentlemen. That was honestly a crazy, crazy race. Honestly insane, ladies and gentlemen. Wow. And if you guys don't know, if it wasn't for that red flag, then it either would have been a Ada win or an Octavian win. But unfortunately, because of the red flag and the race restart, Octavian did have that bad start and the bad race, but he made it work, ladies and gentlemen. What a wonderful race. What a wonderful finish. So that's going to be Wilt in first for Ferrari. That's amazing. Ada in second, the world driver champion in the Williams. And then Indo for the Cadillac in third. What a wonderful race for the Cadillacs, I'm not going to lie. Now here, as you can see, the F2 drivers are lining up. And the F2 drivers are going to be driving... It was, honestly, ladies and gentlemen, this race was intense. It was crazy. And there goes Ada winning the driver championship, which is absolutely insane. Actually insane. But ladies and gentlemen, that will be the end of the stream on my part, because this is going to be the F2 race. And if you want to go ahead and watch that F2 race, make sure to join the Discord. Check it out. Hope I was in F2. I didn't get signed, but I hope next season. Hey, man, you never know. Next season, a lot of seats are going to be open. Some people are going to be getting moved up into F1. So make sure to check the league if you guys want to join yourselves. And yeah, the F2 will commence. The F2 race will commence. I'm not going to be streaming it. If you guys want to, you can come ahead and join the Discord and join the race and watch it yourself. Thank you guys for coming to the stream. Make sure to like it if you guys enjoyed. And subscribe, because in a few weeks, Season 7 will be starting. Obviously, the livery reveal will happen. And, yeah. Thank you guys for watching. Hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, like, comment, and subscribe. It was a blast to stream this race. And, yeah. There they go for their qualifying, ladies and gentlemen. and I'll see you